Okay, so we are doing command overview today. So like I was just saying, this is the first time I've taught this particular class. I feel like it's a lot. Normally we'll focus on one kind of smaller element of command, but today we're going to do a macro view of everything. So I do want to, Sierra, if you could actually pull up the link to our YouTube page and put that in the chat. I want to go ahead and just say I'm going to be kind of glossing over and skipping over a lot of really cool stuff that I don't want you guys to really miss out on. So I'll try to touch in on those things, but then if you want to dive in deeper, then tune into our future Tech Thursday classes, but also I'm going to have Sierra drop the link for our YouTube page in the chat too. So check out those videos that we've made before. And I include the dates on all of those so you can tell if there's like an agent sites page, for example, that's a little more up to date than another recording. You could always watch them both, but the more recent one might be better for whatever reason. But okay, so let's get started. So the very first thing that you need to do in a command overview class is log into command, obviously. So we're going to cover that real quick. You'll go to agent.kw.com. I think about that as the agent login for kw.com. kw.com is actually our consumer-facing site. It's not for agents. And then agent.kw.com is like the backend site for agents for this class or for this program. So agent.kw.com, I'm logging in with my credentials. If you are having any trouble logging in, you can always reach out to your agent services or to support@scottleroymarketing.com. There is a forgot password button if you're unsure of what your password is. And let's get started. So the very first thing I want to show you in command is your command dashboard. So this is kind of like your go-to place when you first log in. It's all of your like an overview of everything that's going on in command. So right here, I've got my tasks. I can see today I am scheduled to teach Tech Thursday. If I hover over this, I can have some more, like a description. It's obviously command overview. It's due today, and there's even a hyperlink that I can add for that as well. I guess I can go ahead and check that task off. Complete. Here I am. I'm doing it. Here's a little playbook. They've got some videos from Keller Williams Connect you can watch here. Your goals, where you can track and see how you're actually performing based on the goals that you've set for yourself. Your database health comparison. So this is where they take the health score of your database, which is how much information you have for each of your contacts, and they'll actually compare that with the rest of the agents in your market center. So if you're competitive, this is a great tool to kind of make sure that you beat those other agents. I'm obviously not doing super well, but I think anything over 50% is pretty good. Product updates. So these are where you can kind of see some things that they've done recently. The last update obviously was on October 2nd. They fixed some bugs. Sometimes they'll add new content. Before that was September 22nd. So you can kind of stay up to date on what's going on here. They also have an option where you can click what's new and see what's next. Right now, they don't have anything coming in the pipeline that they're sharing on this screen yet, but in the future, you can always check that out and see what's happening. I've got a notepad here where I left myself this little note. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. What does a house wear? A dress. It's funny, right? I can also add some more stuff in here, like Kara is not good at jokes. There we go. We'll just leave that for later. And then so next you've got some leads. This mostly comes if you are doing campaigns where you might be getting Facebook leads, or if you are on a team and you're getting leads sent to you from your team, this is where those would pop up. And some other leads that you've got, if somebody downloads your KW app, for example, you will get their information here as well. You can also rearrange this page too. So if you click this customize home button, you can actually drag and drop what you want to see where. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. Like for example, I'd probably want my leads up closer to the top if I were actually an active real estate agent, which I am technically, but yeah, so that's that. Next, I want to take you to your settings tab. So if you click your name up here on the top right-hand corner, you've got your profile here that you can click on and check out. This is actually your KW Connect profile. So if anyone goes to KW Connect, or if they find you in the referral tab, which we'll talk about later, this is actually the information that they'll see about you. It's a great idea to have your bio here. I don't have a bio here, but I need to do that. You can also change this banner picture, make sure your headshot's up to date. This is your, basically it's like your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page or whatever for Keller Williams. If you go to Marketplace, this is where you can buy more emails, and you can connect yourself to other things that, other applications that you can link with Command. So I think most of these things are paid. I guess this one is free, but you can check this out and see what kind of partners we have that work with Command and add things to your Command account through here. Go back to this tab. And then in settings, this one is actually, you guys might be familiar with, because in every Command class that we teach, we pretty much always start in settings and then we go to connect settings and then your marketing profile. This is a really important thing to basically start with when you first start using Command. Go ahead and fill out your marketing profile to 100%. This is what's going to push all of your information, your agent headshot, your name, your logo, all of this stuff, pushing it all into your other marketing. So if I toggle this button right here, it's going to start out at gray. And then if I toggle it to green, this will also share all of my marketing information on my Keller Williams agent site too, which we'll go over in a little bit. So here's where I'll fill in all that information. I've got my bio here, my phone numbers, my Market Center logo. Got some compliance, legal footer text. Really the only thing that's required is you need to make sure it says each office is independently owned and operated, which is this sentence right here. I like to add a little extra stuff just to make sure that I'm covered. And I can actually place this in the chat if you guys want this. And then I've also got legal footer images as well. This isn't required. Again, this is just something that I like to do just to make sure that all my bases are covered. But I do have that equal housing opportunity logo and the realtor logo as well. And then I've got some Facebook and YouTube, some social media links here. So one thing I definitely recommend if you're linking your social media to your Command is that you're linking things that you want to make sure are professional facing. So if you've got a personal Instagram or a personal Facebook where you post a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily want your clients to see, I wouldn't link those here. You can always either make yourself a more professional, one of those things like a professional real estate Instagram page, for example, and link that. Or you could just rely on either your offices, like for example, I've got a lot of stuff here for Keller Williams North Seattle, or you could rely on Keller Williams as a whole, which is where I have the Keller Williams Realty International links. So I kind of did a little bit of both. I have my professional Facebook page. I've got the Keller Williams Realty International Twitter page because the Keller Williams North Seattle office doesn't have a Twitter. I've got the Keller Williams North Seattle Instagram page, Keller Williams International YouTube page, because again, Keller Williams North Seattle doesn't have a YouTube, etc. So those are some good ideas. Just make sure that you always use this HTTPS / before anything, or else it won't link. So something to keep in mind. You do that beginning part is required. And here's a little spot where you can link if you're doing any Facebook ads and Google ad tracking. And here you can find the link to your branded KW app. So beyond that, if I go to, let's see, applications. Yes, if I go to command settings and then applications, this will show all of the apps that I already have linked to my command account. So as you can see, I have Facebook linked. I do not have DocuSign linked. Our office doesn't use DocuSign, but a lot of other Keller Williams offices do. I don't have a Twitter linked. I could obviously connect something like that really easily. Same thing with Google, Gmail, all these other accounts. I can connect them here. So let's go back to our home page. And now let's work our way down this menu a little bit so you can see what all the different things you can do here in Command are. So if you float over these icons, it will actually tell you what each of these items are. But you can also click this red KW at the top of the page and it'll expand that menu so you can kind of take a look at everything. I definitely suggest when you're playing around in Command for the very first time, go ahead and work your way down this whole list and play with every single page. Same thing with the settings button, just click all the buttons. You're not going to break it, just go after it. I think that a lot of people are really intimidated by Command, but you know, you obviously figured out Facebook, you figured out Instagram, you figured out how to use those things, you can figure out how to use this. So we're going to start with contacts because that's the very first thing on this list. So here is where you're going to input all of your database. You can either do a mass import all at once, or you can input someone one at a time. Up to you on how you wish to do that. If you want to import a mass, I would say if any more than 10 people, I would say don't go ahead and do an import, and that would be this button right here. But if you're just adding people one at a time, you would click a button here. And it's waiting. My internet has been really slow the last couple of days, so bear with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a contact. All right, we're gonna call this person Rachel Green, and her email is rachel@friends.com. I would say I already have a test contact with my own information. If you don't have a test contact with your information, I would say do that first. It won't allow you to make multiple contacts with the same info. So that's why I'm making someone else's info. But it's a great idea to have a test contact with your info, because if you want to set this person up on an auto plan where they're getting emails sent out to them or anything like that, any type of communication, test communication, it's a great idea to test those things on yourself first before you send them out to your actual clients. And for phone number, I think I can leave that blank. So let's go ahead and click create. I don't think you need to have both necessarily, just one or the other. And so now I've created this. In a minute, we'll talk about opportunities. That's this one right here. But in order to get an opportunity started, you'll actually do that with a contact. So if I search in here for Rachel, she'll pop up. And this is basically where I'll start. If I end up having a transaction, then I'm going to start with Rachel. She's either buying a property with me or listing her property with me. I would start that whole process in her contact page right here. And Tiana teaches a prep to get paid class that covers opportunities, but we'll just kind of go over that very, very briefly.
And if you're with the Seattle office, Kayla teaches, it's called command commissions. Yeah. Kayla teaches it Tuesdays at 3.
Okay, so for my tasks, I did already check off the one task I had to do today, but I can look and see what my previous tasks were. So if I go to past 7 days, oh, completed. There's that task that I just completed. You can create yourself new tasks here, like call Sierra and set yourself a date for that. I'll call her tomorrow. And I might say, talk about November calendar. And then I could add a link to that. Maybe if we were doing a Zoom call, I'd want to put that Zoom link in here. And then I would create that task. So now that will pop up on that home page as well, which will remind me that I'll need to call her. So the next one we've got is smart plans. So this one I really, really love because we actually just had Mega Camp back in September, and during Mega Camp, they just released this new feature where in your Smart Plans library, which is basically how you can contact all of your people in your database in like an automated way. They did just add these new things where actually other agents can share their smart plans. You too could also share your smart plans if you come up with something really great and you want to make sure other people can check it out. And then you actually get access to those for free. So you can add the smart plan, which will put it in your smart plan library, which is over here. But in the meantime, these are all just kind of sitting here being ready to use. You can tell that in the ones that are top rated, these have, like this one, for example, has 5 stars and has 23 people that rated it. There's also 1,474 agents that are using this smart plan. If you want to know a little bit more about what's going to happen with this smart plan, you can see it's called the 66-day challenge. But if I click view steps, I can actually see each step in the smart plan. And if I hover my mouse over it, I can see what each of those steps actually entails. So this actually has a text that you can either automate through command, or you'll just give it a task that'll set as a reminder for you to text that person with this kind of verbiage. It'll also tell you the duration of this. So this one, for example, is 90 days. But a lot of these smart plans are set to repeat themselves. So as you can see here, this smart plan goes over the course of 90 days, and then it's set to repeat 4 times. So it's actually 90 times 4, however many days that is. I bet Hannah knows. And let's see. So basically, once you do add a smart plan to your library, like I said, it'll be over here. Let's add this 5x5. And I can either rename it or I can leave it the same name, but each smart plan name must be unique in your library. So if you've already added 5x5, but then you made some changes, you might need to add it to your library again with a new name. And then you'll download it. So now that I'm in my smart plans, these are the smart plans that I have added to my personal library. I can edit them by using this little pencil button. I can also add contacts to them. So for example, like I said, you do always want to make sure that you put yourself on these plans first. So I'll look for me, and then I'll add to smart plan. And we do have some more smart plan classes where we'll go into this a lot more in detail. We actually did one last Thursday. So if you missed that, feel free to check out that YouTube page, look for the smart plans video, and Sierra did a great job covering all of this content a lot deeper. All right, so that smart plan has been set, and it shows here I've got 1 contact that's on this plan. And I can see it. If I click that little eyeball button, I can see it right here, who's on it. I could unsubscribe, but I'm not going to do that. I'll leave myself on it for now. Okay, so the next page is the referrals. I really like this. I actually just used this recently to find my friend in New York a referral so she can buy a house out there. And this shows you my referral network. Just keep in mind, as a Keller Williams agent, we do have the largest real estate referral network in the world. So it's a great opportunity as a Keller Williams agent to not only find agents where you can, see what their production is like and get easily connected with them and send them your referrals, but you're also more likely to receive referrals too, because that's such a big part of who we are at Keller Williams. We're so connected all over the world. So here's everyone in my referral network. Alicia, for example, she used to be an agent here in Seattle, and now she lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have family that lives in North Carolina, so if I wanted to send her a referral, I just have a button I'd click right here. I can go ahead and tell them, I've got a person that wants to sell their house, my referral fee is 25%. She's got 24 hours to accept it. I could give her some more time if I really wanted to. Let's say 72 hours. And I'm not going to do a min or a max. And then I can send that contact information here as well. If I needed to find someone, so it wasn't someone that I was already connected to, then I can look at my map. And then search my map from here. So let's say I want to look at, let's look at South Carolina. So I'm from Columbia. And you'll see the more I zoom in, you'll start to see these little teal dots pop up. These are all the different Keller Williams agents in this area. Sometimes the teal dot represents multiple agents and sometimes it's just one agent. So you'll kind of get an idea of how many Keller Williams agents there are in any particular area that you're looking at based on how many of those dots you see. As you can see, there are a lot. We are a very large network, which is really, really awesome. So if I know that my friend is looking to buy something in Forest Acres, I might zoom into Forest Acres. And then you'll see I've got this list of potential referral partners right here that are all Keller Williams agents. I think out of fairness, they automatically have this set to sort randomly. But if I know that my friend is looking to buy, I might be looking for to have them sorted by buy side. So Brent Downing looks pretty promising. Looks like he's closed 30 units in this area and 382 units altogether. Wow, that is a lot. He probably has a team. He does. So I can click on Downing team and actually see, well, this is how he's closed so many units. Look at all those people that are working with him. So yeah, I would probably assume that if I sent my friend to Brent Downing that they actually wouldn't end up working with Brent. They'd probably end up working with one of these people instead, which, you know, that's all well and good. I could also look at, let's see, Angela, see what her stats look like. Looks like she's closed 7 units in this area, 13 units total. So maybe I would just want to send the referral straight to her. Those are some various options that you have. Remember in the beginning when I showed you your KW Connect profile? Well, this is Brent's KW Connect profile. So this is that thing that you could edit at first. See how he has a bio that's written about him. I think that especially when you're looking to receive any referrals, having a bio is a really great tool that if you're not utilizing it, you're kind of missing some opportunities. So I know you guys saw mine. I don't have a bio on mine. So do what I say, not what I do, and definitely put yourself a good bio on there. I know when I was looking for referral partners before, if I saw someone's page without a bio, I kind of would skip over it sometimes because I'm like, I want to know a little bit about you before I give you a call. So one last thing about, actually, let me say a couple other things too. Once you get this down to a certain amount, so let's say, I'm not sure exactly what that number is, but I'll zoom in a little bit further. You see there's an option here for broadcast referral. Before, when it was 132, it was too many people. It wouldn't let me do it. There was like a circle with like a cross out going through it. Now that it's down to there are only 32 dots on this page, I could actually broadcast a referral, meaning that I could send out a referral to all 32 of these agents, and whoever accepts it first is who's going to get my referral. So that's one way that you can do this too. If you're like, this is just too hard, I can't decide. You can also check on the status of your referrals. If you go to my referral, you can see how many you've sent, how many you've received, and where they are in the process and all of that stuff too. So back to this referral dashboard, one thing just to keep in mind too. So it looks like I have a pending invite right now. Eleanor Lynch wants to be my referral partner. I would definitely accept it. I mean, it's totally up to you how you guys want to do your referral network, but I wouldn't think of it as, okay, Eleanor Lynch wants to be my referral partner. That means she has a referral for me or she's expecting a referral from me. It's just like a connection on LinkedIn, basically, is how you can think of that. So it doesn't really mean that you guys are going to do business together, but it does mean that if Eleanor Lynch has a referral opportunity with someone in Seattle, she may be more likely to send that referral to me because we're connected already on her, on both of our referral network. So here's opportunities. I had mentioned this before when we were in contacts, that you would take that contact through the whole process of cultivating, doing the appointment, having an active partnership with them, going under contract, and closing. So you could follow this whole opportunity through here. This is also where you'll submit all of your required documents that whoever your reviewing broker is will be reviewing to make sure it meets state compliance, and that you get paid. That's the best part. Honestly, there's so many parts of Command that I like more because I think it's more exciting, but for you guys, opportunities should be the most exciting thing because this is how you get paid. So it's important. Definitely take that Prep to Get Paid class or the Compliance Commissions class, depending on which office you're with. Like I said, Tiana teaches the one at North Seattle office and Kayla teaches the one at the Seattle office, but it's definitely something that you'll want to take. Okay, so the next thing, we're working our way down the menu. We're like pretty much halfway through, which is perfect because it's almost 10:30. Here is campaigns. So the way you can think about campaigns is this is basically your marketing center. So as you can see here, you've got a whole separate dashboard. You've got your dashboard when you first log into Command, but this is your campaigns dashboard where you can kind of touch on everything that you might be doing in campaigns. As you can see up here at the top, this kind of illustrates the different types of campaigns you can do. You can either do paid ads. So this would typically be like a Facebook ad. Send out emails, do direct mail, so like postcards to your clients, like farming, or social posts. You can also set these things up in so for social posts to post periodically, so you don't have to just post things on the time that you're sitting at your computer. You can actually set them up to post later, which is really nice. Schedule these posts. So it looks like you're working every day when really you're not. This thing I really love, it's called Quick Posts. They actually randomly generate these ideas for things that you can post on social media. So if you click shuffle, it gives you some new ideas. Click shuffle again. Shuffle. So like you've got some videos on here. This one is just a market snapshot. Another market snapshot. Here's a download my app one, and all of these are editable. So this is just posting you a random idea of something that Keller Williams provides for you to post on social media. If I wanted to actually use this, I would click on it, I would edit it, and then I could post it to my Facebook from Command. And you also have some tips and training down here as well that you can utilize. So I'll click through here real quick. We've got paid ads. You can see what this looks like. I obviously don't have any that are running right now. Emails. I do have a couple of these drafted. Direct mailers, and both emails and direct mail and social posts you can actually design in one of the last things we're going to cover, which is designs. But this is where you would actually get those things set up. And then social posts. And this is, like I said, you can actually schedule things to be posted out in advance. So the next item on our menu is your reports. Here's where it gives you kind of an overview of everything, including your goals. So before we saw our health, our database health compared to the rest of our office, this is like a little bit more in depth, obviously I have a lot of my contacts, phone and email, but I do not have a lot of addresses. I don't have a lot of neighborhoods set up. I have no home anniversaries or birthdays in my contacts. So that's really bringing my percentage down. If I went through and added birthdays and home anniversaries, neighborhoods, addresses, things like that, my health score would go up really well or really easily. So you can see really well what you need to do, where you could improve. And then for reports, I can report how many contacts I made, buyer opportunity report, listing opportunity report. This just kind of shows me where I'm at in the opportunities page over here. And some more info about contacts. I've got my goals. These I don't actually have set for myself, but you can set these for yourself and decide, you know, what do you want to sell this year? How many listings do you want to have? How many buy sides do you want to represent? How much money do you want to make? And this is kind of where all of this stuff would get put in, and then you can track it and keep up with it and make sure you're on track to hit your goals. And then my email report, it shows how many emails I sent. It also will show how many people clicked it, how many opened, how many replied, how many were undelivered, how many people unsubscribed. That's when you know you didn't send a very good one. How many people marked it as spam? Oof, that hurts. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk to you guys about, these last few are actually my favorite parts of Command, so I'm going to dedicate the most time to these. So designs is where you can see I have all of these templates. If this is your very first time ever opening designs, this page actually might be blank, but you'll see you'll have this blue plus sign here in the bottom right-hand corner. And it also sorts all my templates based on what they look like, or based on the what category they're in. So my emails will be here. My landing pages will be right here. My social posts are all here. My print is here. And then agent site. I do want to point out, we are going to talk about agent sites later, but if you ever need to edit a page on your agent sites, you actually don't do that through the consumer option on the menu. You actually edit things on your agent site through designs. Not the most intuitive thing in my opinion, but that is the way they have it set up for now. So just keep that in mind. You can edit landing pages from consumer, but agent site pages need to be edited through designs. And then you also have videos. So these are things that I've created before. I can go back and I can edit them by just clicking on them, or I can create something new by clicking this blue plus sign. I almost said red again. I don't know why. So let's do something like, let's do a social post. And we could import photos and text from a listing, but I don't have a listing in my brain right now, so we're gonna just leave that blank. I like to come in here and kind of periodically check out what's new. So if I go to templates, if I go to templates and then new designs, this is actually where I can see what has Keller Williams added to designs recently. So these are Instagram stories. This one's pretty fun because it's a gift challenge. That's cute. That could get some good engagement on your Instagram. So instead of Instagram stories, now we've got Instagram posts, lots of cool, creepy Halloween stuff. This could be great for you guys to post this month. Got the KW logo on it. You can put your Market Center logo on it. Wishing you a happy Halloween from your favorite real estate agent. How to staycay like a pro. Got some good like COVID looking things. We've got Wealth Building Wednesday on Wednesdays. Those are actually at 1 p.m., although this says 3 p.m. because it's Central Time. yeah, lots of stuff. These are all editable too. So even if you don't like, I obviously wouldn't want it to say 1 p.m. That doesn't make any, or 3 p.m. That doesn't make any sense for me to post something as a Seattle real estate agent in Central Time. So I could just change that if I clicked on it. But yeah, these are pretty cool. Let's look at booklets. One of the things I really love in here, we've got a House Hunting with Riley. This is a coloring book. You can see I'm like kind of flipping through these pages here, where if you are taking a family to go show them houses and they have a little kiddo with them, this could be a really fun thing. You could bring them maybe with like a tiny box of crayons and say, you know, here, this is for your kid. While we're going to look at houses, they've got a little activity book that they can work on too. And it can be branded to you. It can be branded to Keller Williams. It's got a place here for your Market Center logo and also for your name and contact information. And some Facebook posts too. So let's go back to let's go back to templates. So I want to, wait, hold on a minute. There we go. So now you guys have seen some social stuff. Let's check out print. This is also under the print section. This is where you'll find your buyer guide and your listing presentations. So these can both be printed, or you could save them as a PDF and bring a computer or an iPad when you go to meet your client, or if you're having a virtual meeting, you could send it to them as a PDF too. So if we're doing a listing, for example, here's a listing presentation. You could pick, there's 2 different designs you can pick from, classic and modern. I'll use modern. And I've got all these different pages that I can add and then I can edit for my listing presentation. Talks about my app, my custom marketing plan, finding your buyer. You don't have to use every single one of these pages. You can use what you like and leave out what you don't like. You can also make new pages if you'd like. For something like this, the proof is in my numbers. You might not want to use this if you're a brand new agent that doesn't have any past clients. However, these could be easily altered so they can reflect the numbers of your office. So for example, I just typed R. I'm going to give that a little bit more room. And now I could put in all of the numbers that Keller Williams North Seattle or Keller Williams Seattle, if that was my office, sold in the last month and what their median sale price and all that stuff is. So this would be a great example of how you can really rely on the business that your market center is doing. If you're on a team, that your team is doing, if between you and your coach, what your coaching program is doing, all of that stuff. Don't feel like you have to leave this page out just because you're brand new, but just know that you might want to make some changes, some tweaks to it. Okay, so that is the listing presentation. And the great thing about that too is once you go through it and you edit it and like really customize it and make it yours, you can make more changes to it in the future for different people. But you can also just like once it's created for you, you can reuse it multiple times. I think it'll take the longest to get set up the first time you do it. And then after that, it'll be a lot easier. So then let's go to buyer and look at that buyer presentation. Modern, because I'm a modern gal. All right, so here's your guide to home ownership. Got your buyer consult. You can actually make this specific for your client, put your client's name on here, a table of contents telling them what you're going to tell them. You've got all these pages with some really great info that can, like I said, it can all be edited. So, and you should know too that these aren't just, you know how sometimes when you get a generic marketing piece, it's got like Roman numerals or something like that instead of actual words. These are real words. Like Keller Williams Realty International has actually created these marketing pieces that you don't have to go in and come up with things to say. You can tweak it and you can make changes, but the work is done, which is really great. All right. Let's go back out. I'll show you one more thing that I like to do in designs that I feel like is really helpful. You also can design yourself some business cards in either portrait or a landscape. This could be really good. I know I had someone reach out to me recently because they weren't really meeting with a lot of people in person and wanted like a virtual form for their business card. And when you join Keller Williams North Seattle, we do buy your first 100 business cards for you that are very professional looking, but unless you take a picture of it with your phone, it's not very easy to share with someone via a text or something. So this could be a great way to send your information to someone in a really professional way, either via text or on your Facebook page or however that might be. You can make yourself a little virtual business card, or you could get these printed. And they've got 3 new designs. Looks like these are bifolds, kind of the same stuff as before. Okay, let's do KW app, just so I can show you guys what it looks like to actually edit something in here. Actually, I don't like that. This one looks cool. Well, I'll do this one because it's more modern looking. So one of the great things that Designs does too is that you can actually choose a kind of common design for all of your design pieces. So if you end up really liking this black and white kind of design and you want to use that in multiple of your marketing pieces, you want to use them on Facebook posts and on Instagram posts, you're able to do that too. So your market is on the move. I think this pug is really cute, but I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense for this piece. So I can go to my company images, go to company, there's app images, lifestyle at home, lifestyle activities, neighborhoods. And then maybe I want to just swap this out for, I don't know, something else. Maybe something that's actually moving, like these kids or these kids. There we go. That looks better. And then you can just kind of edit all of these things. This person has her headshot. I can switch it out for my headshot and put my name and email, my Market Center logo. And all I'm doing is just clicking this and then going to my library. It's under logos. And then switching it for my office's logo, my headshot, all of that stuff. Okay. And we do have, actually, we have a designs class that we'll be teaching the last Thursday of this month. All right, so I'm gonna just close out of designs by clicking that little X at the top. So the next thing we have on here is listings. We're almost through with the whole list. To be honest, I don't love the listing tab. Yeah, I think it might be good if you're able to keep track of your current listings. I don't have any current listings right now. You can do a listing search. I think this is kind of helpful because it goes beyond just what's in your local MLS. It actually, you can search other properties as well. Like if I wanted to see what kind of properties they have in Austin, Texas, I wouldn't be able to find those on the Northwest MLS. So being able to search for listings on here instead I guess a benefit. And then I can click on these little neighborhoods too and look a little bit more closely into these. And they get all of these neighborhood names, by the way, from Nextdoor, if you guys are familiar with that at all. And then once I find a house that I might be interested in checking out, I can just click it and go through the images. And see what other info there is about the house too. Okay, so this is actually probably my favorite part of Command. So this is Consumer, the Consumer tab. This is where you would create your landing pages and also your agent site. So one of the reasons why I really love landing pages, I will take you on a little detour for a moment. Let's look up, oh wait, actually. Okay, let's look up this property in Seattle. So I'm going to click this link on Redfin. And as you can see, there are a lot of opportunities for you to, if you shared this, let's say this was my listing and I shared this on my Facebook page, because Redfin, you know, the pictures show up really well. People love using it. It's like a decent platform. However, when I share a Redfin link on my Facebook page, I've got all of these opportunities for my sphere that I'm marketing to schedule a tour with not me, but a Redfin agent, to start an offer with not me, but a Redfin agent. Ask a question. Do you think this is the listing agent's phone number? No, it is not. It is a Redfin agent's phone number. So you're basically just giving these leads away by sharing Redfin links, and Zillow is the exact same way. So instead of doing that, my recommendation is that you take 5 minutes, and I teach you how to do this in the landing pages class, to create a site that you can share on your Facebook page that instead of that Redfin link looks like this. So this is that same property that I just showed you on Redfin. It's got a big picture of it right here. It shows the status on the MLS. It's still active. It's listed at 850. You've got your square feet, bedrooms, bathrooms, some information about this property, this beautiful carousel of images that you can click through. Some more details and features about the property. You can see where it's located on a map. I also included this video, which is really cool that you're able to do that. This is a video tour of the house. Can't see that on a Redfin page. And then also some neighborhood trends too. So I pulled some neighborhood stats about where that house is, active listings, pending listings, average days on market, all that stuff. And then here's an option to schedule a private tour. Does this private tour go to anyone besides me? No, it goes to me. So I think that's really great. Like I said, it only takes 5 minutes to make this page. It's free to make this page. If you wanted to promote someone else's listing on your Facebook, I would say get permission from that agent first and then just share this link. However, if it's your own listing, then you could also create a custom domain for that as well. So whatever you would want that domain name to be, you could buy that from GoDaddy.com or from Google. It costs anywhere from $1 to $10 for a year for that. I don't think you're going to have a listing for longer than a year, so you're not going to need more than that. And such a small percentage of what your commission would look like from selling that. So if it does end up being $10 instead of $1, it's still worth it in my opinion. You'll have a custom link. You can even put it on your sign or make a QR code for it and put it on your sign and take people directly to this, which is basically like a virtual flyer instead of having a flyer box. So it has a lot of uses and it only takes 5 minutes to make and it's free. So you should definitely do it. In addition to that, you can also make something to promote your mobile app too. So here's an example of what that might look like. This would be another great thing that you could share on your Facebook page that's got a link to download your app, and also a like a video about the mobile app. You can also make your agent site, like I said. So here is my agent site. And again, I have a whole class on teaching you how to make agent sites. I even now recently have been doing advanced agent site classes. So once you get your agent site set up and you want to kind of take it to the next level and add some more customization, I have a class that covers that too. But here I've got a background picture of Seattle. These will kind of carousel their way through like a slideshow. I pulled these from Unsplashed, I think is the website, but there's lots of places you can look for online for free images. So just make sure that you're not taking any copyrighted images, but I think it's called unsplash.com. You can get free images there. So once I'm on this page, some of that customization that I can do is I'll click my name here at the top right-hand corner. And then all of these things are menu items that I was able to add to my page. So when I went on my marketing profile and I added all those links for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, this is actually where those things would show up, where my clients could click on them. Anyone that came to my page could click on it and learn a little bit more about me or about Keller Williams. I have a page here called Why Keller Williams that talks about what's so great about not only being an agent with Keller Williams, but also working with an agent with Keller Williams. A little about me page where I talk about me, obviously. I've got a real estate blog here. This is something that I set up in my advanced agent site class, but this is something that you can also do where I don't actually have to do I don't have to work on this at all. This is done for me by a site called Homekeeper. And you can get your Homekeeper login from Scott Leroy Marketing. It's either already been sent to you from Scott Leroy, or you can send them an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com and ask them for your Homekeeper credentials. And then once you get that account set up, then you can just connect it with your agent site. And then people will think that you are just blogging away. You can have your clients set to receive these blogs via email. Or like I said, they could just go to your site and see them here. It's got my name, my picture, my office information. It even has my name right here. So it does really look like I took the time to write this article and I did not. So that's pretty nice. I also added a mortgage calculator in my advanced agents sites class. So just so you can kind of see what you can really do with this site. I know Keller Williams before, we used another website, like a third-party website company to create our agent sites, and basically everyone's site looked the same and it was a little boring. And now I really love the opportunity to create these sites through Command because you really can customize so much and make it so specific to you and your business and your clients. So,
Kara, can you go over what GoDaddy is and what we would use GoDaddy for?
Yeah, so that is just a domain, like a place where you could buy domain names. So for example, my website is karakrog.kw.com. If I wanted to purchase the website karasellsseattle.com, for example, I could purchase that website if it's available through godaddy.com. And then I would email Scott Leroy Marketing at support@scottleroymarketing.com and have them forward my website to that and like link it to that domain name that I purchased. So that way, if someone went to carouselseattle.com, this is the site that they would see. Does that make sense? You can do that through Google as well. So those are just, I mean, there's probably other places you could buy domain names, but those are just two that I know of. And I think we made our way through the whole menu. It looks like we've got something else coming soon, listing consult, that's not quite available yet. I'll also take, since we have just a couple minutes left, I'll say you can get to KW Connect through Command as well by clicking this Connect button. There are still some features of KW Connect that you have to go to kwconnect.com in order to utilize, and you can do that by clicking this button over here that says kwconnect.com in this image. But some things you can access through Command. So For example, I have these groups that I'm a part of where people can post questions and get feedback from agents or just kind of share whatever they're doing for that day. Here's some more info about groups. And as you can see, they've got some new features that are coming soon too. So I do think that we're going to be transitioning from having kwconnect.com as a separate website to having everything moved over to this part of the command page, but we're not there yet. So for the meantime, I would say I mostly still go to kwconnect.com when I'm looking for any of those things, but I am keeping my eye out on this page to see when those things start moving over here. And it's 10:55. Does anyone have any questions? We've got about 5 more minutes. I know that was a lot of stuff to cover. Does anyone want to share what they're most excited to use in Command?
Yeah, I'll share. One is just let you and Sierra know how much I appreciate you doing this. I end up just paying attention to what you're doing through the hour, and then I go back and watch it over the weekend and actually open up my command and start manipulating those things. So that's a good tact, I think, to help to at least get exposed to it and then do it.
I know I can be a little long-winded sometimes, so
no, not at all. And it's just nice.
Watching the videos is good because you can pause me.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to do that in the office. But aside from that is me too, by the way. I have been using to communicate and go through the listings and watch my listing. And so that has been, so I'm excited about that. And yet there's still so much more to do, especially with the site, because people are looking at it. And I would rather have them looking at the Keller Williams application than the Redfin and the Zillow. And so I really appreciate the landing page. I have to do that yet. So just thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, landing pages and agent sites are my favorite part of Command, and I definitely nerd out about them a little bit. Like when you build them, you use these things called widgets, and they're my favorite thing ever. I love to say widgets. I love to use widgets. Widgets are the best.
Where do we find these again, the videos that you've done?
I think, Sierra, I haven't actually looked at the chat. Let's see.
I'll post it again. It's the first comment in the chat, but I will post it again.
Thank you, Sierra.
Where I find it the easiest though is on the Facebook page for our private Facebook page, because it's recorded, so you can go just watch the whole thing all over again right there as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, if you are with the Seattle Market Center, it is going to be on our private Facebook under units, under Tech Thursday.
Perfect. Does anyone else have any questions or comments or anything else they're excited about diving into? I'd love to hear it.
I just wanted to say thank you, Kara, and thank you, Sierra, for your time. I am excited mostly about the social media posts, because I be finding myself not really knowing what to post sometimes in stories. So that's going to be a really useful tool.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua. That's awesome. I definitely think dive into designs and make yourself some pieces that you want to share, and then set it up in your campaigns to post automatically, so you don't even have to think about it. And like one day's work that'll last you for the rest of the month.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I'll go ahead and sign off then. Thank you so much for coming, and join us next week. We are covering campaigns.
Woo! All right. Have a great Thursday.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.